Hello, and welcome back to another teacher tip with Alessia's Academy. In today's video, we'll be looking at how to find good academic sources. When you're trying to find a good academic source for your work, the first thing you should consider is what you actually need from that source. When you think about what's required in your citation information, this will help you to kind of navigate and weed out sources that maybe are not as credible as you think they are. So what you need to do is determine whether or not you have a credible source to use for your work. Make sure that you are getting good information for whatever project you're working on. This means that the source material should be specific to whatever project you have. Make sure that you have good, relevant source information to work with. That source material is what's going to inform how credible you end up sounding in the essay or whatever project you're doing. There are 3 quick things that you can look for to establish if a source is credible. The first thing you should do is look at whether or not the source has an author. For the most part, putting your name on something shows a lot of pride in your work. So if someone isn't willing to do that and they don't actually have a name on their website that you can use for an author, I would be suspicious of that source. Remember that this person has to be credible in the field that they're writing on. So if someone happens to have a PhD in physics and they're teaching you about physics, that would be good. But if this physics person starts all of a sudden teaching you about history and they have no relation to history at all, that could be a red flag. So not only does your source have an author, but try and see if there's any information about what their credentials are for their line of work. The reason this is important is that when you are writing these projects and things for schools, teachers understand that you don't necessarily have decades of experience in this field. And this is why they expect you to use evidence from people who do have that kind of experience, so that you can really get into the specifics of the topic you're looking at. Number 2, does this source have a publication date? Usually, websites that are credible and have academic work have publication dates because information is always changing. So a source that might have had good and relevant information 10 years ago is something that might need to be updated for today's purposes. So you want to be thinking about how relevant is this source depending on the day that it was published. Are there new advances in technology? Are there new advances in the field that would make this information that would make the information outdated? So you want to be thinking about that as you're looking at the source as well. And finally, number 3, are there references included somewhere in your source? Now, the way that these things are included can look different. Some people prefer to hyperlink ideas and source information in the article itself, while others create an entire works cited or bibliography at the end of their pages. Either way is fine as long as these are links that link to other good academic sources. What's good about references being included is that it shows that not only are you doing the research to show that you have found information from a credible source, but this credible source has also done their research. They have found other sources to use that are also helpful and relevant for the topic. So when you're looking at these kinds of things, it also helps to establish the credibility of your source and yourself. The other tip for this is that if the source has additional references included and you're still looking for more sources for your work, chances are you can probably use some of their references as well. So have a look at the other articles they've included because it'll probably give you a lot more specific information about your topic that you can also use as research for your own. So this is why looking at additional references being included is really important. So now that you know what a good source is, let's try and explore some ways that we can find them. The first thing we'll look at today is academic search engines. These are usually found through school libraries, so you can ask your local librarian if you would be able to access articles on platforms like JSTOR for free. JSTOR is an example of an academic journal where people have submitted their work not only from the research they've done, but it's also been peer-reviewed. So this means that other academic people who know what to look for and are experienced in their field are also reviewing to make sure that that information makes sense and that they have the proper evidence needed in order to state that information as a fact. So although these are sources that sometimes cost money if you want to download their articles, using things like your school library, where they have corporate accounts for this, can help you to access those articles for free. So it's always good to check with your local librarian for this. Another search engine you can use is Google Scholar. By using something like Google Scholar, you narrow your search down to sources that have usually been researched by professionals already. Again, some of these might have actually been peer-reviewed from others in their field, so this is a good resource to use because almost all of the articles would have the credibility that you're looking for your topic. You still want to make sure that it has the name and publication date and other references, but this is a really good starting point because Google Scholar has almost all academic sources. And lastly, the other place to look is library resources. The library has a lot more to offer than you think. Whether you're at your school library or your local public library, there are many sources that you can access for free that will help you with your project. One thing you can do is ask a librarian to see if they can help guide you to the correct section for the topic you're researching. Books are usually an excellent source of academic material. They usually have an end page with tons of resources and show you all the research they've done into their topic. Again, another way to find other good academic sources for your topic. So it's always good to ask a librarian and they can help point you in the right direction. The other thing you can ask them is if you'd be able to access scholarly journals like JSTOR for free. So schools and libraries usually have corporate subscriptions that allow them to give these services to free to their clients or students that are using them. So it doesn't hurt to ask. See what they can offer you. They have a lot more resources than you think, so it's always a good idea just to ask and see what might be available to you. They can usually help steer you in the right direction. Now that we know what good, credible academic sources look like and how to find them, once you've accumulated the research for your topic, let us know in the comments below. If you look at the description that we also have links to some of our other formatting videos that will help you with the formatting for your essays. We help you with MLA, APA, and Chicago-style formatting for whatever is required of you for your assignment. So have a look there and make sure that you also have proper formatting for all this research that you're doing. Thank you for watching our video. We hope it's been helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos that teach you how to learn for life and get through school while taking care of yourself. Until next time, see you soon.